Hey everyone, I'm Anna, and this is a special episode dedicated to Halloween and some vocabulary and idioms and phrasal verbs connected to it. Why is it so special? Well, honestly, because it's special to me, because I just love Halloween and all the traditions connected with it. And I always wanted to decorate my apartment to get into the Halloween spirit, but I never did. And as you can see now, I've even carved a pumpkin by myself, this one over here. And this one is my husband's job. And that wasn't easy at all, but that was so much fun. And I even bought some decorations, and I'm gonna watch some Halloween movies later. And all of this thanks to this video. Here in Ukraine, we do not celebrate it like they do in the United States. We simply have some Halloween parties and nightclubs, and that's it. And it's such a pity because I think that that's awesome when they decorate their houses and get dressed up in costumes. And of course, trick-or-treating.
We've got a line of trick-or-treaters out there. Someone covered my porch with jack-o'-lanterns.
It was the wives. Don't open the door.
It's so interesting, and especially for kids. And I know that they even have the whole Halloween towns. Isn't it cool? I think so. I wish we had a tradition like that. Well, I mean, besides Christmas, of course, we usually decorate our houses and towns for Christmas and New Year. And we used to have a tradition of caroling, but unfortunately it's disappearing, goes into history. But that's another story. So, Halloween's in the air, and let's talk about some idioms and expressions relating to fear and Halloween, of course. But first things first, what's fear? Do you know? Do you want me to tell you? I will. It's an emotion. It's a very unpleasant, disturbing feeling caused by danger or a threat. So when you watch horror movies, that feeling that you have, that you feel, is fear. Well, usually. Or when you're thinking about talking in English to the other person. You're afraid, you're nervous. Well, I do too. Or remember how you felt before an exam or a job interview. Well, that's the fear of failure, the fear of being rejected. I guess we all felt it at some point. And also, we can get scared. It's a sudden, unpleasant feeling that doesn't last long. For example, if someone came out of the blue in front of you, you would get scared. And here we have an idiom, scare the hell out, which means to frighten someone really badly, and we have it in such variations. You scared the hell out of me, you scared the crap out of me, you scared the pants off me, and you scared the wits out of me.
Oh God, okay.
What the hell are you doing? You scared the crap out of me.
And besides that, we can be terrified, which means to be very frightened. It's a very strong feeling. For instance, I'm terrified of spiders. Someone might be terrified at the thought of being alone, and someone might be terrified of mirrors in the dark. And now I'm gonna give you one phrasal verb connected to the topic. It's scare off or scare away. So, if you want to scare off a person or an animal, it means that you don't want them to come closer and you frighten them so that they go away. Or maybe you've seen a ghost and you want to try to scare it off. Okay, so let's learn some more idioms and expressions. Well, there are a lot of them, but I'm gonna give you the most common ones. To be afraid of your own shadow. It means to be scared of almost everything. Hey, why don't we take Robbie with us to see that spooky house? Oh no, he won't like it. He's afraid of his own shadow. To have butterflies in your stomach. It means to be very nervous about a situation. I had terrible butterflies before my job interview. So as you can hear, I used just the word butterfly, so people will understand you that you mean to have butterflies in your stomach. You don't have to say the whole expression. To break out in a cold sweat. So when you're very nervous about a situation, you often start to sweat. When I was learning to drive, I was breaking out in a cold sweat every time I got behind the wheel. The Heebie-Jeebies. Well, that's an American English idiom. If someone makes you scared or nervous, you can say that it gives you the Heebie-Jeebies. Walking around outside at night gives me the Heebie-Jeebies. That old lady who lives downstairs gives me the Heebie-Jeebies. Fear no colors, to be very brave in a dangerous situation. I can totally put that dog back on a chain. I fear no colors. Skeleton in the closet. Well, it means that we all have our own secrets and they call them the skeletons in the closet. I bet you have your own skeleton in the closet as well. Ghost town. A place, an area where most people have left. Since the war began, a lot of towns in the east of our country have turned into ghost towns. Drop dead gorgeous, which means extremely attractive. Well, usually we use it to describe a woman. Some people think that Angelina Jolie is a drop dead gorgeous woman. Witch hunt. It's an attempt to find and punish a particular group of people who are being blamed for something, often simply because of their opinions and not because they have actually done anything wrong. Our high school football players started a witch hunt on my friends and me just because we're not into sports but into science. Witching hour. In Halloween context, it's an hour when supernatural events thought to occur, especially midnight.
Let's go, hurry up. The bewitching hour is about to begin.
And now, let's learn a few words often related to Halloween. And if you know them, then let me remind you because they occur in movies all the time. So we already know that we can be scared, but something also can be scary or creepy or spooky. Those are adjectives, and usually when we talk about Halloween, we use those words. If we describe something or someone as creepy, it means that it's or they are weird or nasty, something that gives us the heebie-jeebies and makes us feel nervous. That guy's talking to himself. That's so creepy. Our neighbor's house looks very creepy at night. If we use the word spooky, it's always related to something supernatural. If I'll tell you, let's visit that spooky old house, most likely it's gonna be occupied by ghosts. In other words, haunted. Well, we can hear this word haunted in almost every horror movie or Halloween movie. A person also can be haunted.
To invite you to his world-famous amusement park, Spooky Island.
Oh, we don't go near any place with spooky, haunted, forbidden, or creepy in the name.
And of course, since we're talking about supernatural things, we can't avoid words like a spell, which means words or actions that are intended to make magic things happen.
Dad. Is that part of the spell?
A curse. In supernatural context, it's a solemn utterance intended to invoke supernatural powers to inflict harm or punishment on someone or something.
God, doesn't that ever happen where you come from?
Of course not. We either live happily ever after or we get killed by horrible curses.
A witch, a ghost, a monster, a skeleton, and of course, a Halloween pumpkin or jack-o'-lantern. Okay, that is all, guys. If you want to create a Halloween mood for yourself, I recommend you to watch a few great movies, not horror movies, but just great Halloween movies, and I'll leave the titles in the description to this video. So, have a spooky Halloween. Bye.
You put this in your coffee. A spoon. Your hands. Your face. It's white. Paper. Snow. A ghost.
Короче, теория гендера, и потом, если